gentlemen, welcome back to another Bourbon Bums review. I'm here with the head bum in charge, Jason, and we are on location, live at Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook for a very special Bourbon Bums review.
That's right. Couldn't be more excited to talk about our new release for our Maker's Mark private selection pick that we, the Bourbon Bums, picked. And unlike other programs where you just pick a barrel, you actually get to make your own blend.
It is. It was a science project slash like math experiment. It was a combination of all kinds of things, and it was a really fun time. So I'm excited to share this with you guys, everyone that watches the Bourbon Bums, and also anyone that comes to Whiskey at Comiskey.
Yeah. So we got our bottles right here, and then we actually got the barrel that it was resting in for all those months after we did the blend. So really cool that this is they gave us the actual barrel as well. I don't know many places that actually give you the barrel after you.
Yeah, I think a Buffalo Trace does if you ask for it. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they just dropped it off and said, "Here you go, guys."
So let's talk about this real quick. So if you ever done or tried a Maker's Mark private selection before, you see the different numbers here, and that's because you can make your own blend of Maker's Mark from 5 different staves. And if you're asking what these 5 staves are, they are Baked American Pure, Seared French Cuvée, Maker's Mark 46, Roasted French Meridant, yes, and Toasted French Spice.
Yeah, and so what I've always been a fan of Maker's Mark. I call them. We talk about it on the Bumcast. You know, they are a franchise player, if you will. They are a cleanup hitter.
Yep.
They are one of the big distilleries. They're name brand. You guys know the red wax. And their 46 and their net standard offerings are great, fantastic bottles in their own right. When they start getting into the wood finishing series, and then now here, like the private selections, that's where they hit it out of the ballpark.
Yeah. So when we did our blend, we went through, I think, around 5 or 6 different rounds of actually trying to find the perfect balance. Our original goal was when we did this was to try to find a BRTO2 clone. If you don't remember, that was the 2022 wood finishing series. There is BRTO1, BRTO2. That one's pretty much non-existent anymore. If you actually see a BRTO2 bottle, it's either very highly marked up or it's just you got lucky.
Yeah. And we talked it a lot on previous Bourbon Bums videos. I talked it on the 12 Days of Whiskey. BRTO2 is not only one of the best releases of that year, it's one of my favorite whiskeys ever.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it being like a melted Snickers bar, like a very dessert bourbon, and I feel like we hit it out of the ballpark with this one as well.
So let's get to it. Let's get to some tasting here. Before I pour it, just so you know, our proof on this is 108.5. And this was from March 2024.
Yeah, and you do see it in a lot of the private selections. The proof varies, obviously. I see them anywhere from like 107 to 110, 110.5. But I've always talked about like 107 to 110, 111 being like the sweet spot of a whiskey. I don't want to talk about other brands here, but like a Weller 107 was a whiskey that got us.
That's both of
like,
both
we
of us.
really liked it when we first tried it many moons ago.
Yeah.
But that proof point of 107, while still, not easy sipping, but you get enough flavor, but someone that's new to whiskey is not going to burn out their palate. So this is something for everyone.
Yes. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, so right off the nose, there's chocolate, there's caramel. It's very desserty, very desserty. There's still some wood to it. There's some oak. There's like an oak influence to it. Not much fruit, but there is a little bit of fruit we'll talk about when we get to the tasting. So cheers.
Cheers.
So the first thing I noticed when we first had the bottle, it's like an easy sipper to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a wave of flavor up until the finish. But right there, front of the palate, there's wood, there's caramel, there's chocolate, there's a little bit of nut, maybe like not a peanut, but like what would you like, an almond or walnut?
Yeah,
like something woody, maybe like a little walnut.
Yeah, the tannin, there's a little tannin.
Yeah, there's tannin to it. But then the finish is where it's like wave of stuff. There's vanilla in there. There's a little bit of marshmallow to it, but it's just like a s'mores, a Snickers, like all the good things that you want.
All the good candies.
I'm a big boy. All of the candy aisle that I like.
Yeah, I immediately get chocolate right off the on the taste. So if, like we said, it is more geared toward dessert bourbon. That was kind of our goal, was to, get more caramel, get more chocolate in there. And I think we pretty much nailed it on that.
Yeah, and so if you notice, obviously, the stave profile, we went really heavy on the roasted French Médiane, and that's what gives like the marshmallowy chocolate flavor to it. So when we were messing with the staves and kind of like doing the math, like it was a group of us, but we all thought like, keep going with the Médiane, keep going with the Médiane. So that's where we got the 1117. Is like we really wanted that punch of like chocolate and dessert.
Yeah, we didn't do any of the French spice. We didn't want it to be, too much of the baking spice, and we wanted more of a sweeter bourbon on that. And I think everyone who tries this is very much going to enjoy this. Right now, out of this, there is 252 bottles from the barrel that we yielded. We already sold maybe about like 40 of these. So they retail $69.99 here at Greene Valley Wine Spirits. So highly recommend, if you're watching this video, make your way down here, grab a bottle or two, because if you miss BRTO2, you're going to absolutely love this, and it's going to give you great throwbacks to a great bourbon from 2022. And while you're also here, we do have still some of our other bourbon bump picks as well that we've done with Greene Valley. So if you are a big Knob Creek fan as well, grab that too. But the star of the show right now is Maker's Mark. This is probably the best pick that we've done so far.
Yeah, and while 252 seems like a lot, the way we've been drinking it one weekend, those are going to go fast.
I already killed a bottle.
I said my bottle at home is about 3/4 done, and I said it on a show previously. This is going to be my daily drinker for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
Just because it is so approachable, but it's still got all those flavors that I'm looking for in a whiskey.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think we have much to say. It's just this is the star right now, and we wanted to also just give a shout out to our the guy who helped to put together, Greg from Maker's Mark. He was really influential in guiding us to getting to that BRTO2 profile, because we told him like, hey, this is what we want to do. He's like, I don't know the exact mash bill, but
we can get there.
We can, I'll guide you to. I have an idea, and we'll guide you there, and we're very happy with that. So shout out to Greg as well.
Thank you to Greg. Thank you to Maker's Mark. They've been awesome from the beginning. Obviously, the barrel and the bottles and everything else. And a special thank you to everyone at Greene Valley Wine and Spirits for continuing to let us do this thing that we love, is picking whiskey and telling you about it.
Yes. So thanks, guys, for joining us in this Bourbon videos. Get down to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook ASAP. Grab a bottle or two. We promise you will not regret it. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Are you tired of getting the same old bourbon sitting on the shelf? Looking for something to impress your bourbon friends with? Then head over to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook and grab one of our single barrel bourbon bum store picks. We've got a 9-year Knob Creek bourbon, an 8-year Knob Creek rye whiskey, and our ever popular NULU toasted wheated. That's right, toasted wheated. So head out to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits or message one of the bums. But hurry, because once these bottles go, they're gone forever. Become a bourbon bum today.